There we go. What's up, people? There we go. It's Cortes, of course, Alexander, obviously, whichever one you want to use. So I'm about to go train in a bit. Drinking black coffee right now. We probably take about 15 minutes for the caffeine to kick in. So we got a little time. You're welcome. So, talk of this Periscope. This is short. I'm going to keep this short, guys. This question I got, some fitness stuff just to kind of go over, illuminate for you guys. I got a question in regards to a gentleman who he's trying to cut, and he says he's about 16% body fat. So he's not fat, but he's not lean per se. But he's trying to cut, and he's skinny though. He kind of has like what he called sort of like a soy body. Doesn't really have any muscle mass. He's been trying to diet, and the diet's really draining his energy. He feels low energy. He feels weak, but his body fat percentage is still kind of high. What should he do? This is a good question, and this applies both to men and to women. So this is gender neutral that way, universally applicable. If you are not muscular and you are trying to cut, there is nothing to cut up. So let me say that again. If you're not muscular, if you have no muscle and you want to cut, you want to drop body fat, there's nothing to cut up. There's nothing to rip up. There's nothing to get shredded. You don't have enough muscle mass to look ripped / be ripped in the first place. You don't. Period. People that can walk around at 10, 12, 8% body fat and look really lean and have abs and muscles and veins and lines in their body, they have muscle mass, they have lean body mass. If you don't have any lean body mass and you're also somewhat overweight, your preemptive, preoperative, number one focus before you do anything else is to get stronger. That's number one. I'm using my thumb. Get stronger, build muscle, okay? And those two things, well, is that 1 and 2 or 2 and 1? They're the same thing. Get muscle, get stronger. Build muscle, get stronger. That's it. That's all you focus on. That's all you focus on. The reason for this, since I'm going to go over the reason for this is because when you are in a state where you have elevated body fat percentage, so you have excess body fat, you have low lean body mass, you're skinny fat, you have elevated insulin sensitivity, or elevated insulin insensitivity, you're insulin resistant, you have poor nutrient partitioning, is what's called. Your body basically just stores fat very easily. You have depressed hormones, your testosterone's kind of low, maybe your estrogen's kind of high. And again, this goes for men and women. Women and men can have the same issue of being skinny fat. If you are a skinny fat individual with a depressed suboptimal hormonal state, you are not going to fix your situation by somebody trying to diet down and drop body fat and assuming that if I lose the fat, then I'll be fit. You're not. You're not, because your issue is not just an issue of excess body fat, your issue is an issue of suboptimal hormones. So if you're trying to fix your hormonal health, what do? In so many words, without overcomplicating it, you lift weights. You lift weights, you get really good at doing push-ups and squats and dips and pull-ups and lunges. You do all these basic, I'd say fundamental elements of being fit, being in shape. You do those basic things, and then as you do those things and you start getting stronger, you start building muscle, and you do this in conjunction with a proper diet. Not trying to diet, trying to lose weight, but diet for the sake of improving your health. You switch to whole foods. You stop consuming so much sugar. You stop having tons of carbs. You start eating things that are actually grown and made versus grown and raised versus processed and made. So you have a whole food diet of real foods. You're eating things that are nutritious for the first time. You're lifting weights. You're trying to fix your sleep, since a lot of you guys sleep really shittily. So you're fixing your sleep. You're lifting weights. You're walking. You're doing some cardio to get your body better at building oxygen. You're using oxygen, I should say. So you're doing cardio to help your body have better oxygen capacity. You have a nutritious diet going. You do that for 4, 5, 6 months. Your hormonal health will start to improve itself. You'll start to get leaner. And you can do that without dieting in the sense that you don't need to be in a calorie deficit. You do not need to be in a calorie deficit to change your body composition. You don't. Yeah, and you'll hear this in the clinical evidence. Well, the only way you can ever lose body fat is to be hypocaloric. Not necessarily. You can change the entropy, the internal entropy of your metabolism by the inputs that you put forth upon it. You can change the way your metabolism functions by how you stimulate it. Lifting weights, cardio, healthy eating, better sleep. You do those 4 things, together in conjunction with one another, your health will improve. And then as you start getting more muscular and you gradually start to get leaner, are you necessarily going to be lighter, where you're dropping pounds every week? No, not necessarily. You're going to have periods where it might be slow, but you will be changing your physiology permanently because you're doing it with a long-term approach. And then over time, over a year, over 2 years, then you can eventually get to a place where, you know what, I built muscle, I've dropped my body fat without having to diet hardcore. Now maybe I can get cut. That's why I become more of a proponent over time of following a very low-carb lifestyle for most people, not because I think carbs are evil or because I think that's the only way to go about things, but for the majority of people alive today, most of you guys are walking around that, like I said, suboptimal hormones, fucked up metabolism. How can we fix those things permanently? Not create a short-term effect, but create a long-term change. How can we fix those things permanently? A carnivorous, or at least very low-carb diet, that's a way to go about that. The evidence for those things is piling up. It's piling up. So to get back to, I guess, the original question, what should I do if I'm kind of skinny fat, I want to cut? Don't try to cut. Build muscle, clean up your diet, fix your hormones, get your testosterone up, take whatever supplements you need to do that, and then over 6 months, a year from now, then we can talk about that. I'm not fat, but I do have some. I'm doing a body recomp. How do I shift macros to do that? As a general heuristic, err on the side of less carbs versus more carbs. I mean, so that's macros. The thing about macros, not to say that macros are important, as I know you're asking, you have the macronutrient question. So if you're going to use macros, then use macros. But along with that, the food sources you eat, that plays a bigger role than anyone wants to admit in regards to just hormones and body comp. If you can optimize your eating choices where you're eating foods that are, let's say you remove all inflammatory foods. So you take out everything that's inflammatory, you only eat things that digest very fast, you increase the nutrient density of your diet in general. You do those three things in combination with each other, so you have nutrient dense, highly satiating, you could say anti-inflammatory diet. You'll find that your body will change pretty rapidly. The reason why I'm not necessarily, the reason why I'm not like if it fits your macros kind of guy is because it neglects food source. And people, you can be having right macros, but still be not metaphorically, you'd be eating the right macros, but still be setting yourself back in regards to your eating choices. I say all these things, you have to understand, guys, it's a very holistic approach. It's a very, very holistic approach. You have to approach your health on multi-level, and you have to address all of it. It's not just one thing. What I just told you guys is about like 4 or 5 things to account for. So you got your hormones, you got your food choices, you got your training, you got your sleep, you got your energy levels, you got learning about your hormonal health, you got all these things. So you can see it work out. No, I have zero interest in fucking filming my workout. Absolutely zero. It's a lot of work. It detracts from. When I train, I'm in flow mode. I want nothing. I don't want people watching me. I don't want to be looking at the camera. Hey, what do you guys think of the lateral raises I did? No, not my thing. Not my style. Eat red meat daily? Not daily, but almost daily. Off topic, but ordered presence program. Also have your Achilles. What should I do first? I'd go with the Achilles. If you can do the Achilles and you can do any of the programs, the Achilles is somewhat of it's an intermediate program, but that definitely sets you up to do whatever else you want after that. Any questions, guys? Creatine, okay. Creatine is the most proven supplement in existence. So yeah, it's okay. You eat bread? I eat bread, but I only have it when I go out to eat, and then I eat whatever the hell's at the table. Opinion on calisthenics? I don't have an opinion on calisthenics. Calisthenics is body weight movement. You are born on a planet that has gravity. The ability to move is that goes beyond being fundamental. You need, if you're not moving, you're dead. So if you want to be healthy, in quotes, you should be able to do body weight stuff. That's my opinion on body weight movement, I guess. I always find that question odd. Look much more toned. Is that my best way to lower triglyceride levels? Unfat yourself. unfat yourself and unfuck your diet. How often you hit the gym? Every day. I train every day, or just about every day. I have had times where maybe I didn't get to the gym every day because I was traveling or such, whatever confounding factors. But in my general routine, I go to the gym every day. About to do Wolverine program a second time. If you're running it a second time, then you should be stronger than the first time, so just run again. Opinion on CrossFit. It's great that it's gotten a lot of people to work out. It's not great that it's injured a lot of people, but you have the good, you have the bad. Best protein in terms of bioavailability and what digests the fastest, eggs. In terms of bulking to build muscle, approach would you recommend? You have to have the genetics to be able to bulk. Most people don't. Most people just have shitty genetics today because most people are fat and soy, and we live in an environment in which the average man has significantly depressed testosterone levels. So, do a seminar in LA or Long Beach? I will do a seminar in LA pretty soon. It'll be a training one, actually. I'll announce that, probably in the next 2 weeks or so. So, do you intermittent fast? Yeah, I did do intermittent fasting. Do you regularly incorporate push-ups into your workout routine? I don't have a routine. I have a way of training in which my body is maximized to have capacity to move at a very high level all the time. Do you have any certifications in the health fitness field? I've got over a half dozen certifications. I've been a personal trainer for 9 years. So, yes. How do you recommend building muscle consistency and get stronger over time? You just said it. How do you get stronger over time? You build more muscle. How do you know you're building more muscle? You get stronger. Do that day in, day out, year in and year. I have a whole program about this, the AJAC method for rest pause training. If you get stronger year over year, then you should be getting bigger. Is there a way to boost testosterone? I have an article on my website, 50 Ways to Naturally Boost Testosterone. Yes, there is. So go read that. Are you Jesus? No. Three more minutes, guys. Actually, 2.5 more minutes. What are your thoughts on the keto diet? I have 2 podcasts on the keto diet that I recorded last year. It's very interesting what it does for people, and there's abundant anecdotal evidence and forthcoming clinical evidence that it is somewhat of panacea for health. So if you want to try it, then that is upon you, but there's definitely merit to experimenting with it. Eat dairy? I don't eat dairy. No. How often do you smoke cigars? Pretty much never. I like cigars, but it's not something I do frequently. Where are problems with dairy? I don't see any problems with it by me. Dairy is inflammatory. There are proteins in dairy that do not digest well for a lot of people. That said, there are proteins in dairy that sometimes it digests okay, but you don't realize how your body actually reacts to it. And the dairy that we get today is pretty low quality, so you have to assess that on an individual basis. I don't eat it personally. I know because it makes me break out. I can eat dairy where I can digest it, but then I'll notice later on that it affects my skin health and it makes me bloat a little bit. And there's a slight dampening of my energy levels. And the way I assess everything is biofeedback. Energy levels, digestibility, hair, skin, nail health. What do you think about a vegan diet? If you want to. Like any other diet, if you want to try it, then try it. There is no such thing as a perfect human diet, guys. Your body has basic micronutrient and macronutrient needs that it needs every single day. You can fulfill that a lot of different ways. How often you should take creatine? 5 grams a day, every day for the rest of your life. You can take it as much as you want. It doesn't really matter. You can take it every day. You don't need to cycle a creatine. Again, go look that up. Examine.com. Creatine is the most studied supplement in existence. There are literally 1,000+ studies on it. You don't need to be asking me that on Periscope. That's Google basic bro shit. Like fucking goddamn cam models with their fucking bullshit. Red meat, bad or good? Don't frame things that way with health. It's not diametric between good or bad. It's a question of context. What is good for health, what is not good for health, it also depends upon the individual in question. Everyone is biochemically unique, so there's no universal prescription for things. Red meat, I would say, is very good for you based upon the evidence for it. Could it be bad within certain contexts? Yeah, sure, it could. Within context, though. Is lifting the best way to help with loose skin? No, if you're fat and you got a lot of loose skin, you're kind of fucked. Surgery. surgery, or you could just get really, really, really jacked and hopefully fill that skin out. But that's a common problem with people who've lost a lot of body fat. They got a lot of loose skin. That's what happens. That's what happens. Any final questions, people? Yeah, I've got like a dozen programs I've written, guys. So if you're wondering, like, well, what should I do with training? I have resources for you. If you're on the email list, you would know these things. Hopefully you're on the list. Eat lots of different whole fruits. That's one of my carb sources. Recommend, or too much sugar. No, here's the thing with fruit, guys. Drugs, take as many drugs as you want. If it kills you, it's your fault, though. Here's the thing with fruit. You'll hear recommendations against fruit. Even the book I recommend, Deep Nutrition. It's not, the author's not a proponent of fruit. With that said, though, I have not in 9 years of working with clients, of working with people literally every single day, breathing human beings, which the majority of people that are online espousing health fitness information have never fucking worked with anyone in their life. They're full of shit. I've worked with people for 9 years. I have never once ever seen anybody that got fat ever from eating fruit. Ever. People that eat a lot of fruit are healthy people. Flat out. Just flat out. People that eat a lot of fruit are healthy people. They're normal body weight. They're usually pretty health conscious, and it's not an issue. I don't know how to make that any more clear. You can critique fruit on the basis of, well, it's got a lot of sugar in it. Yeah, it does, but if your primary sugar source is fruit, I guarantee that you're eating pretty healthy overall. I've never met anybody that eats a ton of fruit and then also eats a ton of processed food. It doesn't happen. It doesn't actually happen in real life. So the criticism level towards fruit, I find it very unfounded. It's one of those things. It is a phenomena of it's a theoretical critique that sounds like it's valid, but in practice, it's just total bullshit. You're not going to get fat from eating fruit. You're not going to degrade your health eating lots of fruit. The way that fruit sugar is processed is very different from actual, quote-unquote processed sugar or high fructose corn syrup or processed foods. So, with all that said, should you not be eating fruit? No, eat all the fruit that you want. If your main carb source is fruit and your main source of sugar is fruit, I guarantee you're doing pretty good. How much can you bench? I don't bench ever. I incline bench. And I haven't done anything more than 225 for reps in a long time. I don't give a fuck. I look like a Greek god, and women get wet at the sight of me, so that's kind of like a bro question. Yeah. Men always want to know what your strength levels are, so it's like you can pull your dick out and be like, I bench more than you, bro. No one gives a fuck, guys. No one literally ever gives a fuck. Only men give a fuck about each other's numbers that way. Women don't give a fuck ever. So, but yeah, 225 on incline bench. If that means anything, it doesn't mean really fucking shit, but how do I get a blue belt in jiu-jitsu? You go train every day. How much do you enjoy doing the email list? Well, I love my email list. My email list is great. I love writing. Plus, you get to talk to people. So, that was a funny way to end the Periscope. All right, whatever. So, all right, love you all. Talk to you all again. Adios, people.